this woman with her kit off. That's not what I'm doing. I started out writing about the Malone Hoard on level 2, that wonderful collection of polished Neolithic axes, which, in fact, Caroline Campbell, I've just been to this most brilliant lecture by her about it down in the lecture theatre. Now, I started out writing about that, and then one day, in the cabinet behind the Malone Hoard, I noticed a handful of small black stone discs with a hole in the middle, and the penny dropped for me. A phrase that I'd been carrying around in my head for months from an archaeological report from a site in the south of England, very close to where I grew up, suddenly came alive for me in this collection of small objects. Could these be spindle wells, I wondered? Those heavy rings or discs which give momentum to a spindle. And so that phrase I've been carrying around in my head for ages was made flesh for me, or rather it was made stone by these objects here. Researching some more, on the Ulster Museum website, I found a gorgeous image of the prehistoric spindle wells at Dundrum Sandhills. And there's a picture of these on the wall of the main atrium. It's massive. So on the way out, have a look at that. You can see what one of these things looks like. Then, as I worked on my poem, the IPCC released their new urgent report on climate change, and 3 protesters were jailed for anti-fracking protests in Lancashire. Thankfully, they were released on appeal last week. And I was reminded that the etymology of ekphrasis, which is what Stephen and Caitlin and myself and Padraig have been doing here, writing poems about paintings, poems about crafted objects. The etymology of the Greek word ekphrasis is speaking out. And somehow all of this climate change and fracking got caught up in the spinning of my poem too. So I'd like to thank Kieran Carson and the Queen's Writers Group, and the poets Mary Montague, Paula Cunningham, Moira Donaldson and Stephanie Conn for their absolutely invaluable nips and tucks on various drafts of this poem. Also Stephen and my other colleagues at the Seamus Healy Centre, and the wonderful folk at the Courtauld Institute and the Ulster Museum, especially Anna, and also Greer Ramsey. I don't know if he's here.
No.
Is Greer here?
He's off doing amazing Greer Ramsey. Archaeological things.
Marvellous. Thank you. He is the curator of archaeology here at the museum. And I want to thank him for really very manfully dealing with my mad questions about archaeology. And he very good-naturedly explained to me that there are drawers and drawers of stone objects with holes in them, and that interpretation as to age and function is really very difficult. Now, poets love that kind of thing. Trickiness of interpretation is what gets us out of bed in the morning. Now, my poem remembers Ken Saro-Wiwa, the celebrated Nigerian writer and environmental activist who was executed in Nigeria in November 1995. Shale Spindle Whirl. In memoriam, Ken Saro-Wiwa. I'll hook you and draw this out, attach a bundle of fleece to the top and spin the shaft. I'll show you how to hold it all. The spindle will provide the tension. We'll circle back to the Isle of Purbeck, pick up a slab of Kimmeridge shale, a blocky black stone with thin white veins, foul-smelling, sulphurous when burnt. Once there were plans to light the streets of Paris with its gas. Free your right hand and spin again. Hold the fleece firmly between thumb and index finger, pulling slightly to put the twist in the yarn. Work this material, lightweight yet strong enough to turn on an Iron Age lathe to fashion amulets, the discoid cores of which, discarded on the beach, their centres punched with small square holes, were muddled up with coins. So, coal money, not to be confused with ammonites, conspicuous in the shales near Washing Ledge, their pirouette of chambers, sometimes filled with pyrite, or the original aragonite of the shell, simply preserved. You've done a length. It's time to wind it on, to drop the spindle, break it off the hook and tie a knot. Run the thread up, twist it round, hold everything in place. Return the fleece and start spinning again. And if it should accidentally drop, to join back on your separate piece of you, spread out your fibres, hold them between finger and thumb, and spin once more. But make sure there's a good bit of tension, a lot of twists put in, so you can fully draw it out. Let this object settle into the circle of itself. Laminated, slightly domed, 30 millimetres in diameter, with a small central perforation as befits its age. Feel the weight of the world swinging further out now as it takes a darker turn. And we are back in the flaming fields of the Niger Delta, where pipes are spilling agony oil and you can see him hanging.